resolution calls upon the city of Richmond to stand in solidarity with the Palestinian people who are currently facing the campaign of apartheid and collective punishment by the state of Israel. First, I want to speak as to why it's not only appropriate, but also necessary for the city of Richmond to take a stance on this issue. The city of Richmond has a history of taking a stand on international issues, both to make a moral statement and when financial issues come into play. In the 1980s, the city of Richmond publicly chose to divest from South Africa as part of a global movement to divest from apartheid regime against Black South Africans. That was a financial decision that had dollars tied to it. Last year, the former mayor passed a resolution in support of Ukraine, and we now fly the Ukrainian flag in front of City Hall. That was a moral statement. I would argue that both instances are worthwhile, and there are many more in our history as a city. As in the case of South Africa, it will not resolve the conflict for Richmond by itself to take a stand on this issue. We are one small city weighing in on a conflict that has the attention of the entire world, and on which global superpowers are pouring in money, political attention, and military aid. But the people of the United States, whose government and tax dollars directly support Israel's military, have an immediate moral obligation to condemn Israel's acts of collective punishment in apartheid state. As history I am calling a recess. Let's yeah. Let's go. If I may, I said that we would be here with anger, but I also said that we would be here with hope. And I was hoping that we would be able to control our anger and listen to one another with hope, with true compassion, and with the ability to hear the pain that is in each of us. I can understand why people want to be disruptive. I have been there myself. But I have learned that it does not take me to a place that we need to be in. We need to listen to each other. So please, I beg of you, take a deep breath, look inside yourself, and see if you can find that kernel of hope and love for your fellow man so that we can get through this together. So, I hope we can continue. And if my words pain you, I am sorry. But they're words that have to be said. So, as I was saying, history is instructive. Societies are too slow to recognize and condemn apartheid and war crimes against civilians, and people who oppose oppression are always villainized as divisive. But I believe in healing, and unity comes from recognizing the roots of oppression and violence. The Israeli-Palestine conflict has long been referred to as the third rail in American politics. A third rail is an issue that politicians and officials don't want to touch because it's too controversial. But it's clear that this resolution animated our community. I've never seen this many people in the chambers, except when there's an issue that concerns all of us as a community. People say that this is not a Richmond issue, but the very fact that you're here tells me that this is a Richmond issue. We are one people. We are Americans. We need to stand together, and we need to put our differences aside, look each other into each other's eyes, and say, you are my brother, you are my sister, and whatever differences we have, we need to set aside because we need to get through this together. So, for that reason, I want to invite community input and discussion. This is a resolution from our city, and it should reflect the voices of our people. I have already had many conversations with both sides, and I have made changes to this resolution based on what I've heard from the community. So people have asked me, why do I want to do this now? So they're saying it's divisive. Can I wait until the feelings are less raw? Jewish people deserve to feel safe. I won't deny them their very real sense of fear. History teaches us that antisemitism is terrible, a destructive force. And hatred of Jews is still a huge issue here in California. So Jewish people have every right to be afraid. And we have a duty to protect our community against anti-Semitism. I reject the notion that speaking out against the actions of Israel's military and right-wing government is anti-Semitic. We should never stay silent. We should never stay silent on the oppression of any group. The Palestinian people are currently dealing with what the United Nations calls war crimes by the State of Israel. They are being collectively punished, drinking seawater to stay alive. Thousands of children have been killed. Palestinians at this moment are also scared of quite literally being killed. I believe we can stand up against anti-Semitism and also speak against war crimes. Amen. And the time is now. Not tomorrow, not a week from now, but now. When else should we speak up? How many times when we read history have we asked, why didn't anyone do something anytime sooner? Do we say something when the bloodshed is over? And public opinion agrees with me. 66% of Americans support a ceasefire and full humanitarian aid to Gaza. This resolution is a proclamation for peace. It is a proclamation for humanity. To characterize it as anything else is false. Any attempt to make the cosmic leap of associating compassion for innocent civilians in the support of terrorist acts is disingenuous at best and manipulative at worst. This proclamation chooses human lives over politics, humanity over savagery killing, and peace over war. So I hear people who are still crying out, and I respect that. I know that these utterances are coming from anger and pain. But I beg of you to stay with us, to listen to us, to share your thoughts with us, which we will do soon. I would like to ask the Vice Mayor to read the resolution as it is currently, and I believe KCRT has a copy that they will broadcast on the screen so that the audience can read it with us.